Straight ahead on 12 News, a mall makeover. We'll take you inside the revamped Ridgedale Mall and look at how it fits into the bigger retail picture. Plus, another scam. This one, Plymouth police say preys on immigrants. But first, reflections on the Barway Collins murder case.
So it was very emotional from the start.
We sit down with the Crystal Police Chief to see the case through the eyes of her department. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The Crystal Police Department is being recognized for their hard work in the Barway Collins case.
The police department put in a lot of time and effort trying to determine what happened to 10-year-old Barway Collins. Barway's father later confessed to killing his son. This afternoon, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office presented the Crystal Police Department with a leadership award. The County Attorney's Office called the Crystal Police Office's work in the Barway Collins case innovative and smart. Now, Sonia Goins joins us now live at the Crystal Police Department. She sat down with the chief to reflect on the case. Sonia?
Now, Mike and Alex, there are 31 sworn officers and other staff who work here at the Crystal Police Department. Now, many of those folks spend a lot of time and sleepless nights trying to solve the Barway Collins case. Now, the Crystal Police Chief says this senseless tragedy has impacted the department.
I was with my niece and my sister-in-law shopping the day that I got the call that his body was found in the river.
Chief Stephanie Revering says that the Barway Collins case is one she'll never forget.
It was very emotional from the start.
This is the last time 10-year-old Barway Collins was seen. The boy went missing March 18th, shortly after getting off of a school van. For weeks, the community and law enforcement officials frantically searched for the boy. While the search was emotionally draining for people who love Barway, it also took a toll on the Crystal Police Department, many of whom have children of their own.
I have 2 adult stepchildren. I have a beautiful nieces and nephews.
Chief Stephanie Revering described what the investigation was like.
And, I could not imagine as a parent or aunt, uncle, grandfather, grandparent, I couldn't imagine somebody even thinking that this is okay to do.
From the beginning, she says they knew Barway Collins' dad, Pierre Collins, wasn't being honest.
From the minute that Pierre actually reported his son missing, his story wasn't lining up with what he was telling us.
I've been working with them, so I don't know what they say that I'm not being truthful. I'm doing everything that I can do for my son to be home.
Several investigators questioned Pierre Collins for weeks.
Many interviews of Pierre Collins was done in here.
The chief says Pierre voluntarily came to the police station to tell his side of the story. They were eager to listen. Did he fail a lie detector test?
He did.
Police used this room to brainstorm and gather facts.
It's actually called the community room. However, it's also our Emergency Operations Center.
The space is empty now, but this is what it looked like several weeks after the case was solved.
We had about 30 FBI agents in here, and the BCA was here, Sheriff's Office, and then all of our staff.
On April 11th, a group of volunteers found Barway's badly decomposed body floating in the Mississippi River.
I knew he was most likely going to be found in the river, but it was sad. It was a very sad day.
Electronic evidence put Pierre at the scene. He was arrested on April 14th and charged with second-degree murder. A few weeks later, he confessed.
What possessed him to do it, I have no idea.
While the case is officially closed,
Pierre admitted to killing his son, and it's over in our minds.
Chief Revering and the rest of the department say Barway Collins will forever remain in their hearts.
We see emotional things every single day in our job. However, we certainly don't expect to see a 10-year-old get his life taken away by his father.
Now, you heard the chief say that this case was very emotional. Now, therapists and counselors were brought in when the case was over to talk to staff. Meanwhile, Pierre Collins is serving a 40-year prison sentence. Live in Crystal, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
A difficult case. All right, thank you very much, Sonia. Charges are expected Monday against a 19-year-old Brooklyn Park woman in the death of her domestic partner. It happened Thursday morning in the 7300 block of 72nd Lane in Brooklyn Park. At first, police called it only a suspicious death, but now say it is a homicide. Officers found a 32-year-old man dead inside a townhome.
When they got there, they found a male deceased. There had been some trauma to the male, to the head area. Did not know how that was inflicted.
Well, after the crime lab and medical examiner investigated, police arrested the 19-year-old woman. Deputy Chief Bruley says police have been to the residence a number of times before on domestic disturbance calls. The man killed has not been identified.
Plymouth police are warning of an ongoing scam targeting immigrants and in some cases costing tens of thousands of dollars. Scammers, most likely from locations overseas, are calling immigrants, claiming they owe back taxes to the IRS and threatening immediate arrest or deportation if they don't wire money right away. In some cases, they stay on the phone with the victim and direct them to a nearby location like a Cub Foods or Walmart to wire the money. Police are seeing an uptick in these types of cases.
Obviously, the victims believe that what they're hearing on the phone is true, that they're going to be arrested, deported. So yes, they're believable. However, people need to keep in mind that no legitimate government agency is ever going to contact you by phone and request that you wire money anywhere.
Police advise hanging up the phone if you get a call like this. In 2 local cases, families lost $24,000 and $12,000. Drivers and neighborhood residents had to deal with it once, and now they'll have to deal with it again. Construction at the intersection of Highway 55 and Winnetka Avenue will have to be redone. After the first time the project was done in August, there were problems with sections of concrete. The repairs will start Monday and last through the week. Expect delays and lane shifts through the area.
The kind of townhomes that developers say are in high demand are proposed for Northeast Brooklyn Park. The City Council gave initial approval to 59 detached townhomes. It's part of a development called the Villas of Rush Creek Trail. The homes are meant to fit a need for empty nesters or looking to downsize and not worry about lawn and snow maintenance. Prices per unit are expected to start at $320,000 on up.
The adult academic program at Robbinsdale Schools is receiving accolades for a one-of-a-kind program they started to teach students how to speak English. Educators would combine an English and civics lesson by bringing students to retirement homes like Covenant Village in Golden Valley to interview seniors. Then students would practice English skills to learn about residents' recollection of American history events like the Great Depression or World War II. Students would then write up the seniors' biography. This creative project, which started in 2013, earned 2 state awards on literacy and innovation. Coming up, a look inside the newly revamped Ridgedale Shopping Center.
And then later in sports, Wayzata takes on rival Hopkins in boys and girls soccer.
But first, pretty much average October weather this weekend. Temperatures will be in the 40s at the start of the Twin Cities Marathon. Minnetonka's Ridgedale Mall attracts shoppers from Plymouth, Golden Valley, and other surrounding suburbs.
And it's undergoing a massive transformation that kicked off Friday morning with the grand opening of the new Nordstrom department store. Elaine Cleveland has more on what the store means for the shopping center.
We're so excited anytime we open a new store, and that's certainly true for our store here at Ridgedale, and we just want to celebrate. So fun, yeah.
A party-like atmosphere greeted visitors to Ridgedale this morning.
You have kind of that pump up, fun atmosphere as well, where you're energized for the day and get your makeup done too. So.
As Nordstrom organized a beauty bash where women could have their makeup done.
We're going to use the side of the pencil.
And get a few treats and samples along the way.
It's fabulous. This is fabulous. I'm so glad I woke up this morning to come.
The festivities were part of the grand opening celebration for the second Nordstrom department store in the Twin Cities. The store has 5 shoe departments, a restaurant, and a number of exclusive clothing brands.
We have been looking to open a second store in the Twin Cities for a while now, and it's really just been about finding the right opportunity, and we think Ridgedale is perfect for us.
Talked to longtime customers.
It's no secret that it's getting a little old here, but the transformation is just gorgeous.
And some say the opening of Nordstrom, along with a number of other renovations at Ridgedale, will give the shopping center the boost it needs.
I live really close, but I rarely come to Ridgedale. But now I feel like this revamp, I'm like, oh, I'm here all the time.
Retail analysts say the renovation is a long time coming because Ridgedale's property management company was in bankruptcy. Now, according to marketing professor David Brennan, it's catch-up time.
What it does competitively, it squeezes out Southdale to some extent because people with higher means are more likely to go to Ridgedale, where you have Nordstrom and these more upscale shops.
If the opening day excitement at Nordstrom is any indication, his analysis is right on track.
It's my main mall, but more for convenience. But now I think it's going to bring in a lot of people because who wouldn't want to be here?
At Ridgedale, Elaine Cleveland, 12 News.
Well, coming up, a place where it's actually fun to get lost.
But first in sports, highlights from Northwest Suburban Volleyball as Osseo takes on Centennial. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
While Champlin Park continues to lead the Northwest Suburban Conference in volleyball with an unbeaten record in the league, the Osseo Orioles are keeping pace just a game back. The Orioles in black as they host Centennial Thursday night. First set, good dig by Allie Ashton. Ellie Hoyt the set, and Christina Bow with the kill for the Osseo point. Later, the ball is set left side for Kate Achenbach, and her kill gives Osseo a 17-13 lead. They win the first set 25-17. Second set, another good dig from Ashton in the back row. Hoyt then goes with a tip shot for the point as the Orioles dominate the set. Anna Furman with the big swing and kill in the middle, and the Orioles win the second set 25-9, and they go up 2-0. Bow is a big hitter for the Orioles, and she attacks from the outside here for an Osseo point in set number 3. This one's much closer, and on what turns out to be set point, both Kelly Auer and Ashton make good defensive plays, and the Cougars return on Bow's hit, lands wide, and that's set and match point, and Osseo sweeps Centennial. The Maple Grove volleyball team is one of the teams set to play in the Hopkins Invitational Saturday. The Crimson tuned up in a Northwest Suburban Conference match as they hosted the Irondale Knights. Off a Knights serve, Maple Grove's Allie Hinsey with a short set to Alexa Otto, who taps it into the open court for a point. Crimson win the first set 25-13. Maple Grove rolling again in the second set. Paige Hinsey up to Allie Hinsey, and then Lauren Bright with the attack and kill, and the Crimson win 25-7. Third set starts out close. Irondale digs the ball up, but on the overpass, an easy play for Bright to tip it over for a point. Crimson lead 18-12. Maple Grove goes on to beat Irondale 25-13, 7 and 14. Crimson is now 5-4 on the season. The Wayzata boys soccer team is aiming for a repeat visit to the state tournament. The Trojans look to take care of business as they hosted the Hopkins Royals. Josh Gehring gets an early chance for Hopkins, but Troy Lawaji makes the stop in net for the Trojans. A minute later, off a long Wayzata throw-in, the ball is headed by a couple of players before Ethan Took kicks it in. Wayzata leads 1-0, just 2:35 into the game. Midway through the first half, Stuart Sane with the cross. Jason Lehman heads it to McLean King, who buries it from close range. Wayzata takes a 2-0 lead at halftime. It stays that way until late when Sane buries a penalty kick for Wayzata. The Trojans win at 3-0, same score in the team's first meeting. In the girls' match, Wayzata was looking to avenge a loss from the last time they played Hopkins on the Trojans' home field. That came in last season's Section 6 AA final. This is the second of 2 regular season meetings between the two sides. First half, Wayzata's Morgan Turner gets past the defender, then Deeks goalie Jordan Petty and goes in alone to score. The Trojans lead 1-0. Hopkins unable to generate much offense, and in the second half, the Trojans add to their lead. Turner to Marissa Kalkar in alone for the shot and goal, and Wayzata is up 2-0. Trojans goalie Kendall Coonan makes her biggest save of the night a couple of minutes later, stopping Isabel Olsen in close. The Trojans add one more goal late off a corner kick by Lily Gilbertson. Hannah Hyde knocks it home. The Trojans shut out Hopkins for the second time this season, 3-0 the final. In the Metro West Conference, Cooper's girls hosting Jefferson off a corner kick by Molly Roach. Sarah Pirtle gets the shot, but Deja Schwichtenberg gets a piece of it, and the game is scoreless at halftime. Second half, Jefferson another threat off a corner. Ball is loose in front. Schwichtenberg stays with it, makes a great diving stop here to keep Jefferson off the board. But the Jaguars finally break through. Jessica Schrank to Brenna Keeler for the quick shot and goal. That's the only goal of the match. Jefferson wins it over Cooper 1-0. A lot of Friday night football, big one at Prior Lake. Maple Grove taking on the Lakers, and the game you'll see live on Channel 12. Minnetonka at Hopkins.
Friday Night Lights,
Yes.
Here we go. Thanks, John. Still ahead. We weave our way into a rather amazing journey.
Yeah, a challenging way to get from beginning to end without your trusty GPS. We'll be right back. Well, now that the crisp, cool morning air is here, many of us have begun to realize that fall is truly here.
That's right. And one other sign of autumn is a true fall treasure in Brooklyn Park. Today in Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley takes us through the Twin Cities Harvest Festival and Corn Maze.
It's the season to celebrate harvest.
From the outside looking in, this just looks like a big old cornfield. But once you get inside, this autumn marks the 6th year Burt Bauman and family have put on the Harvest Festival with the largest corn maze in Minnesota at 109th Avenue and Highway 169 in Brooklyn Park.
It is the largest corn maze, but don't let you overwhelm with that.
There you go. Have fun.
With over 20 years of experience constructing corn mazes, Burt knows what he's doing.
Average person will be able to get the whole corn maze experience within 45 minutes.
This year, Burt's design honors the 15th anniversary of the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota.
If you want to take your time, of course, you can do longer. And you can do it within a half an hour if you're really on track.
I didn't think the corn maze would be that big.
The petting zoo goes from mild to wild, with many exotic animals you may never have seen before. There's live music, plenty to do and experience, with a couple of new items added this year.
We have a magician show on Sundays afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we will have wacky water walking.
And fear not, your favorites are still here.
The must-have is the corn pit and the strawberry maze, and those are the biggest hit that we have.
The corn pit.
We play in the corn, which is a harvest from the fields, and we have hay. That's a result of the hard labor of the farmers during the harvest season. So it's a festival. Come on, enjoy it, and have fun.
No, it's not heaven, and it's definitely not Iowa. But for the last 6 years, Burt Bauman and family have proved that if you build it, they will come. From the Twin Cities Harvest Festival and Maze in North Brooklyn Park, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
They are open every weekend through the end of October. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you Monday.